Pause everything you are doing at this moment, because if you are collecting Social Security SSI or SSDI payments, this could directly impact your monthly earnings in a meaningful way. There is a growing surge of discussions across the country about a potential 650 boost in Social Security payments, and millions of Americans are raising one central question. Is this real? Who qualifies? And when could payments actually go up? Today we are breaking everything down in a straightforward, professional, and evidence-based fashion so you grasp exactly what is unfolding, what is being proposed, and what you should monitor closely over the coming weeks and months. And trust me, you do not want to overlook any detail, because this could affect your retirement earnings, disability payments, or supplemental disbursements earlier than anticipated. Here is your dependable resource for the most current news on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, retirement payments, and government disbursements. If you have not already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never skip a critical update that could boost your earnings. Let us get straight into it. Right now, the talk surrounding a $650 boost is not arbitrary. It is linked to a combination of policy conversations, inflation corrections, benefit reassessments, and proposed legislative modifications that are getting serious consideration in Washington. Throughout the past several months, legislators, economic analysts, and advocacy groups have been campaigning for enhanced financial support for retirees, disabled Americans, and lower-income beneficiaries who rely on Social Security programs for basic survival. The truth is simple. Inflation has struck severely. Expenses for food, housing, and medical care have all climbed dramatically. And for millions of Americans surviving on fixed earnings, existing benefit levels are simply not staying current. That is why concepts like a $650 boost are building steam. They are designed to help close that divide and deliver immediate assistance. Now let us clarify something significant. This $650 boost is not automatically a flat guaranteed disbursement for every recipient across the board, at least not at this point. Rather, it reflects a blend of potential increases that could arrive through various pathways, including cost of living corrections, benefit reassessments, and focused relief initiatives. One of the primary drivers behind this conversation is the annual cost of living adjustment referred to as COLA. Every year, Social Security payments are modified based on inflation figures, specifically the Consumer Price Index. When inflation climbs, COLA increases follow. However, here is the issue. Even though COLA increases have been elevated recently, numerous analysts contend they still do not completely capture the actual costs seniors encounter, particularly in medical care and housing. As a result, there is mounting demand to reform how COLA is determined. Certain proposals recommend transitioning to an alternative inflation measure that more accurately mirrors senior expenditure patterns. If that occurs, it could produce considerably larger yearly increases, potentially contributing to something resembling a $650 elevation when accumulated over time or paired with other modifications. Another crucial component is benefit reassessment. Millions of Americans who started collecting payments years ago may not be receiving the complete amount they would be entitled to under revised formulas. Legislators have been exploring methods to reassess payments for specific populations, especially those who held lower paying positions or were impacted by antiquated regulations. If enacted, these reassessments could generate substantial monthly increases. For certain people, that increase could amount to hundreds of dollars per month, which rapidly accumulates, moving us nearer to that $650 number under discussion. There is additionally dialogue about focused relief disbursements or supplemental increases for SSI beneficiaries. Supplemental Security income recipients are among the most economically disadvantaged, and their payment levels frequently fall well short of what is necessary to handle fundamental living expenses. Some proposals seek to elevate SSI disbursements directly or furnish additional monthly assistance. If those proposals advance, SSI beneficiaries could experience substantial increases. And once more, when merged with other corrections, the overall increase could approach or even surpass $650 in particular circumstances. Now, let us examine SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. SSDI beneficiaries are likewise part of this dialogue. Numerous individuals collecting disability payments confront escalating medical costs, restricted earning capacity, and growing financial strain. Legislators have acknowledged this and are investigating methods to enhance SSDI disbursements, either through COLA improvements or independent benefit increases. So, when you learn about a $650 boost, it is vital to recognize that it may not originate from one single origin. Instead, it could stem from multiple shifts occurring simultaneously. COLA increases, reassessments, supplemental disbursements, and legislative reforms all functioning in concert. Let us proceed to eligibility because this is where matters become extremely significant. Not everybody will qualify for the identical increase, and the sum you receive could hinge on several elements. First, your existing payment level plays a substantial role. People receiving larger payments may witness bigger dollar increases from percentage-based corrections like COLA, while those collecting smaller payments may benefit more from focused increases or minimum payment reforms. Second, your program is relevant. Social Security Retirement SSI and SSDI each operate under distinct rules and frameworks, so modifications may influence them in different ways. For instance, SSI increases are frequently connected to federal payment rates, while Social Security retirement payments are calculated from your earnings history. Third, timing is essential. When these modifications are put into effect, if they receive approval, will dictate when you actually observe the increase. Some corrections could launch at the beginning of a new year, while others might be phased in progressively. Now, let us tackle the primary question everybody is posing. When could this materialize? At this juncture, there is no verified nationwide deployment of a flat $650 boost. Nonetheless, multiple proposals are presently under deliberation, and some modifications could commence as early as the upcoming COLA adjustment period or through fresh legislation currently being debated. This means you must remain vigilant. Modifications to Social Security do not always materialize overnight, but when they do, they can produce a substantial effect on your finances. Another significant element to weigh is how these increases might influence other payments. For example, if your Social Security earnings rise, it could potentially affect qualification for certain support programs like SNAP or Medicaid depending on your combined earnings. That is why it is critical to examine the complete picture. A rise in one category is advantageous, but comprehending how it connects with other payments is equally vital. Let us also confront false information because there is an abundance of it spreading. You may have encountered headlines asserting that a $650 disbursement is already authorized or being sent out immediately. As of today, those assertions are not wholly precise. What we are observing is a mixture of proposals, forecasts, and policy deliberations, not a completed universal disbursement. That does not indicate it will not occur, but it does indicate you should depend on credible sources and confirmed updates rather than gossip or deceptive headlines. And that is precisely why dependable information sources exist to deliver precise, prompt, and accessible information so you can reach educated conclusions. Now let us take a broader view and consider the larger context. The campaign for elevated Social Security payments is not merely about figures. It is about confronting an expanding financial obstacle encountered by millions of Americans. The cost of living keeps climbing, and for those depending on fixed earnings, even modest increases can create a significant difference. A $650 boost, whether it arrives as a monthly elevation, a combination of corrections, or staged modifications, could help address critical expenses like housing, food, utilities, and healthcare. It could diminish financial anxiety and deliver enhanced financial stability for retirees and disabled Americans. However, it is equally important to remain grounded. Policy modifications require time, and not every proposal becomes enacted law. That is why remaining knowledgeable and ready is the wisest approach. If you are presently collecting payments, now is an ideal moment to examine your statements, comprehend your current disbursement structure, and remain current on any declarations from the Social Security Administration. If you are intending to file for payments soon, watch these developments closely because they could shape your future disbursements. And if you have companions or relatives who depend on Social Security, be certain to pass this information along to them. The more individuals comprehend what is transpiring, the more equipped they will be. As we wrap up, here is the essential takeaway. The notion of a $650 boost in Social Security, SSI, and SSDI payments is drawing attention because it mirrors genuine worries about cost of living and financial steadiness. While it is not yet a verified universal disbursement, it embodies a combination of potential modifications that could meaningfully elevate payments for numerous Americans. The landscape is shifting, and developments could surface at any point. That is why it is so crucial to remain connected, remain knowledgeable, and remain proactive. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe, press like on the video, and pass it along to others who require this information. Dependable information is here to keep you updated every step of the journey with the freshest news, analysis, and explanations that are relevant to you. And remember, when it concerns your payments, understanding is not merely influence, it is earnings. Stay watching, stay knowledgeable, and we will meet you in the following update.